Tayoki, talks with KG, the realest podcast on the planet. Bad mind boy, cannot stand it. Talks with KG, the realest podcast on the street. Tell them on the platform, take a seat.
Welcome to another episode of Talks with KG, where we keep it real and nothing else but real. And all year we here, and we have our new little setup. Now the thing go. We have sound effects. We have songboard. We have all the kind of thing. All you see the new little setup. You know, I always trying to innovate the thing. You know, try to make the thing a little better for the people. Because you know this podcast is my little baby, you know? So we're trying to grow. And we're trying to just elevate the thing. You know, we have a lot of things to talk about, you know. A lot of things to talk about. Since we came off the heels of the World Cup and all that different vibes. I jumped straight into the interviews one time. I had an interview with Orlando Octave. We had an interview with Youngin. Two of my, I putting them up there when it comes to my favorite interviews. I find they were very, very real, very honest, very organic interviews. And I see kind of vibes, you know, we like right here on Talks with KG. But all in all, we have a lot of things to talk about, right? A lot of things to talk about. When it comes to the youths, when it comes to youth development, you know, KG is a person that been speaking out on certain things. In the Orlando Octave interview, we spoke about how important it is to make sure to guide the youths and to put a certain type of energy into the youth and them. Because, the adults, it will be a little harder to change the society by just trying to change the adults. We really had to pay close attention to the youths. We really had to pay close attention to youth development. And that's something that I've always been a part of. Since I was 16, 17, anybody who know KG from back then, when I decided to come into the industry, it wasn't just to be an artist. It was to really help youths. And imagine I was 17, 18 years old, and I already had that mindset. So the first time I ever bought studio equipment, I was like, 17, 18, and now finished school. I had an old laptop, and my mother bought this CD for me called Magic's Production Studio or something like that. A beginner program for young producers. Them days I don't know my ass from my elbow, right? But I load up this CD and I started to record artists in my neighborhood. Now, I was already an artist, as in I was already an aspiring artist. I can't even say I was an artist yet, but I was an aspiring artist. I always wanted to do music, right? And when my mother bought that production CD for me, before I even record myself, I brought in youths from my neighborhood and was like, let me record some music for you. So that is how important it was for me since them days there. I was a youth and already doing youth development. I had my first record label at 18 years old named Full Grime Records. I had artists like Nessa Preppy and so many artists I had under my belt. Nessa Preppy was a child, literally, still going to school, 16 years old, 17 years old, and I was already developing her as an artist. I remember Nessa Preppy came to me and she was like, hey, just do poetry, you know. I was like, well, you could rap. Them days we rapping. And she was like, nah, I can't rap. And I was like, yes, you could. I was like, do you know what rap is? Rap is rhythm and poetry. So if you are already doing poetry, if I get a rhythm and you say your poetry on the rhythm, it's basically rap, right? That was my analogy. And from that tender age, you know, youth development was so important to me, right? Going through going through my young days, 2008, 2009, 2010, I continued to just bring in more youths, more youths. The amount of youths passed through my grandmother house. Them days I had my little setup in my grandmother house in the back bedroom. We said, and the woman mad, but it was something I was really passionate about, helping the youths. Even though I wanted to be an artist, my passion really dwelled in that lane of the thing. I wanted to build a label. I wanted to build a community. I wanted to help youths, and not just youths, but misguided youths, youths that I knew, all right, them ain't really looking like they want to do anything else but music. So you know what? I have the ability to help these youths, so let me help these youths. And it went on from the early days of 2008, 2009, 2010, and we moved straight up to like 2000 and 2017. And that is when I met artists like Prince Swanee. And the first time I saw Swanee, all I saw was a ghetto youth who needed help. And not just Swanee, but so many others. But the reason why I'm using Swanee as an example is because when I met Swanee, it was like the first time I really felt like, all right, something could really happen now, KG. Because we've been doing it, we've been helping youths, we've been recording youths, shooting videos for youths, mentoring youths, and I wasn't even know, I can't even call myself a mentor them days because I was still learning so much at that age. But at the same time, that is what I was passionate about, helping the youths and mentoring the youths, but wanting to see them make it in a life, wanting to see an artist that I record, the music play on the radio, or promoters want to book them. Like, that was the goal, that was the dream, to make a better life for the youth them, basically. And I remember Swanee came into the studio. I went and picked him up in Port of Spain, and he came into the studio, and the first song we ever recorded in the studio was KG featuring Prince Swanee, My Team. I know a lot of you all would know that song. That is the song that I would say kind of start the new energy of what we call today Trinidad. That was the first time a lot of people outside of the Port of Spain area and whatnot heard about Prince Swanee in a big way. Because, I mean, KG was already a name on the ground, when it comes to the young ones doing this thing in the studio and recording music and shooting videos. Like, people already knew that is what I was known for, basically. So when I brought Swanee to the light, let me not even say to the light, but gave him some of my exposure, that is when everybody was like, who's this youth? Who KG, who's that? Who's that youth, man? And I had to literally tell them, like, Prince Swanee, and from there, we recorded more songs, songs like Go For Them and Brother, and then I linked up with artists like Jelano and Meds Boss and so many different Trinidad artists that we played a instrumental. We played a deep instrumental role in their life, not just with the music, but with advice, with mentorship, all these different things, showing them the game, showing them how to do this thing, how to function in the music industry. And that was my role, basically, when it comes to youth development. We developed a lot of youths into stars, gave them confidence to do the right thing and not go down the wrong road. So I am an advocate for youth development. And even up to this day, I still try my best to help when it comes to youth development, whether it be my platform, whether it be just talking to youths on the WhatsApp. Some of them might call me, they might send me voice notes. I will send them back voice notes, give them advice. But I believe in youth development. So it hurts my heart sometimes when I see, our leaders, our government officials, the people that was placed in certain positions to make sure that they help develop the youths. When I see they drop the ball, it hurt my heart so much. It hurt my soul so much. And that is the reason I had to do this episode today. This episode is about youth development, and our leaders continue to fail in that lane, in that category. Today, I want to take the time to talk about the closing down of a lot of youth programs. Now, we see the CCC program close. We see the Milat program closed. We see in a lot of youth programs are closing down under this administration. Now, I am the type of person, I don't really like to come and bash politicians or bash certain parties and whatnot, because I've been real with all you. I always look at all politicians as the same. I is not one of them to come here and say the UNC is the worst or the PNM is the worst. Or since I was a youth man, I've never seen a political party come into power and really impress me as a youth. Right? We're talking youth development here. We're talking connection with the youth, right? I've never really been impressed by any politician. It may be like one or two pass through the scheme that I could probably say, all right, he was a good one, she was a good one. But the majority, I was never really impressed by any of them. I'm just being honest with all of you, right? But at the end of the day, it had certain programs like the CCC program. I remember going to school, and if school wasn't your thing, the first thing you would tell your mother is, Mommy, I will go CCC. I will do a trade. Even the Milat program, I know so many young youths, let me be real, youths from the streets, youths who give so much trouble, youths who was misguided, and they joined this Milat program. And we see the difference in them being idle on the streets versus having a program like the Milat program or having a program like the CCC program. Now, I don't know all the intricates about these programs. I ain't really know how much money that the government is putting into these programs. I don't know how much money they might lose from these programs. I have no clue when it comes to those things. But all I know is that these programs, I could attest, I am a witness of seeing so many of my comrades, so many of my friends enter these programs and make something out of their self. Literally. I cannot deny that. I cannot say that CCC program is a waste of time, that Milat program is a waste of time. I cannot come here and say that. A lot of things that the government may implement would be a waste of time, if we are to be real. But you see the Milat program and the CCC program, especially them two programs, I think that was some of the greatest programs that Trinidad have ever seen in the history of this country. I've seen so many underprivileged youths, underprivileged financially, or it could be underprivileged mentally, it could be underprivileged. It don't matter, underprivileged youths that was begging for help, youth that needed assistance from the government, youths that needed assistance from anyone that went into these programs and came out a success. We can all attest that this is a real thing. So today, I really want us to get into the topic of the closing down of these programs, because it really hurt my heart, it really hurt my soul. And I say, you know what? This is a very important topic. Some people from the Milat Academy reached out to me, youths who was in the program. I want to have a conversation with the principal, Mr. McIntosh. Short pants, let's call him. Big up short pants all the time, but I really want us to get on some phone calls and have some serious conversations about this, because a lot of people not even speaking about this, and then we want to know why there's so much crime in Trinidad and this and that. But if we not really paying attention to when people drop the ball, and not just people, when the government drop the ball when it comes to youth development, it had nothing we could really say when we see the youth and them going astray. So today, we go in and get on some calls. someone reached out to me. His name is Nigel. He apparently he was a youth that was in the Milat program. He called himself a guinea pig in the program because he said that he was one of the first, not one of, they were the first batch in the Milat program. And he reached out to me. So let's get Nigel on a call and let's have a serious discussion about this topic.
Yeah,
Nigel,
hey, what's up, brother?
wagwan, my bro.
I did humble logo.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the program. It's a blessing to have you here, bro. Because
Yes, sir.
as I say, I was talking before you came online, and I was telling the people that me growing up, youth development was always something so passionate for me. My lane in youth development would be more in the music industry and that kind of vibes, the whole Trinidad industry. That was something that we formed by helping the youth them, especially the youth and them who kind of was a little misguided and that kind of vibes, right? And we make something out of nothing, basically. And growing up, we see programs like CCC and we see programs like the Milat program and things like that. And we can't come here and lie and say that them programs didn't make sense. It definitely made so much sense because I have so much friends, so much comrades that entered these programs and came out something. Now, I don't really know the intricates of these programs, bro. So that is why we have somebody like you who was enrolled in these programs and could probably come and give us a little more light on what really going on. Because you reach out to me and you say, KG boy, you see what going on, they close down the Milat. They close down the Milat. And I know that probably really affect you in a certain way because you was definitely one of those who was there and experienced exactly what the Milat program was about. So, introduce yourself to the people and let me get into this
Yeah.
conversation.
All right. Yeah, everybody know me as Luciano. Well, most of my comrades and past instructors and um as Luciano. You understand?
Right.
Yeah. So I hear you mention the program CTC.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has CTC, it how YTEP was developed too. It have
Right.
I think
White
these are must
Right.
program and yeah, my that was developed. No, there's only so much I know. I know it have people who actually know the whole what the program was, or it was formed, the founder and them kind of thing. Yeah?
Right.
And I get introduced to the knowledge that was developed for dysfunctional homes, youths who want a change and don't have a guidance,
Right.
and more like youth, a second chance for the youth, man.
Right. So
Right? Man,
basically, the Milat program was targeted towards, as you say, youths who probably grew up with no parents or youths in
correct.
orphanages, these type of
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, who had a foundation, yeah.
Right.
So it was open to a large aspect of youth from who probably end up in YTC, KG,
Mm-hmm.
and still was second chance at life.
Right.
Youth was in the home. I don't know if it's still around, which is boys industrial. I don't know if it's still
Right. The boys'
um
home, right?
youth, yeah, youth was in the basic Catholic homes who
Mm.
was in neighborhoods and thing, and parent die and parent unable to work, and you
Right.
understand?
So these were the
Um,
type of youths that would be in the Milat program. This is what the classrooms
yeah,
would be filled of.
yeah, and like my time, and if it changed now, but my time,
Right, right. Because
right?
you because you told me offline that you were like the first batch of
Yeah,
yeah.
our batch before me, but
Mm.
our batch was more developed than that batch.
Right,
That's
right.
students. So it have men who is almost close to the 40 years old that
Mm.
open minded boy. Yeah, man.
That open
That
my
was
lot? What do you mean open my lot?
that yeah, like the first batch, like the development of my lad, the first batch. I
Big
mean,
men.
almost in the 40s.
Big men who probably never really
Yeah,
get a true opportunity
yeah,
before
boy.
and they say,
Men
boy,
develop.
it's just
I tell
looking
you.
good. I go in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, it wasn't like that. That first batch was like, hey, they come and grab you and say, the judge sent you and say, hey, I want you go to this program.
The
The
judge? So
magistrate.
the judge grabbing a 40-year-old man from where?
No. Understand what I'm saying? It have man who is 40 now,
Right.
right?
Right. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. So them was the first batch, which is me, right after, 2 years after them,
Right.
and was sent there by the magistrate when there was 16, 14 around that age. Man. You
Right.
understand? So this is how long Milat was there.
Right. That was
You
the type of
understand?
program it was basically. Because
Yeah,
because
it
I
was
never
mad.
understood exactly what was Milat. Only like a few years ago, my brethren kind of explained to me exactly what, but even you bringing it even clearer to me now, I didn't even know that the judge would send you to Milat. So instead of sending you to YTC behind prison bars, they
Right.
might say, you know what?
So
Let me send you somewhere where you could learn a skill or learn
correct,
certain
and it won't be
things.
around like all right. So
Criminals
for
and
instance,
yeah.
so that long time back in I don't know if you remember, we used to get look up for like 5 piece and things KG, and it
Right.
was wrong. So if a man get look up for 5 piece, you understand, and he
Right.
don't want to talk and say who sell him that. They'll send him in YTC next to a criminal.
Right.
The cell was so packed.
Even like if I youth fighting in school and them kind of
Correct.
thing, he get hold with a
Yeah.
knife or something, you send
Yes, he
him
get with a
YTC
knife and then yeah.
and destroy
And
his life.
correct. You become institutionalized
Right,
because all
correct.
he know is that hey, my best friend is in YTC. Out here, no care and thing for me. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like going back inside there well, because this is why I feel belonging to.
Right.
You understand? So
Yeah.
my dad was like, you know what? It has some youths don't deserve to be next to real hardcore criminals then or real
Right.
dysfunction. You understand?
Right. Let me
We
put
could get them
some
a second
training
chance.
into them. Because I mean, that is what a lot
Correct.
of youths need. They just need some training basically. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you're right.
Right.
Um, yeah, so well, I could talk for my time, man.
Yeah.
You understand? And I be in real well, I grew up real dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's on the street by KG. I don't know how to play it. Raw. I remember friends telling me, but your mother is a prostitute, you know.
Right.
Your mother is from you understand? My
Right.
father from drugs and I don't even know if I remember by chance.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so I use my time and I think you near 30s, right? Late 30s.
Mm-hmm. 35.
Right. So my dad, so we are around my age. So I know you know which what Farris fashion is.
Right.
Right upstairs there's a called Queens, a bar.
Right.
My father is around there. I tell you,
Queen's
my father never
legendary,
worked in his
though.
life.
Queen's
My father,
legendary, bro.
yeah, my father
Yeah.
is I tell you, never work in his life hands off.
So what he
You
was doing in
understand?
Queens?
He was a casa, he was a wappy long time,
Right.
man.
Wappy running
You
up the
understand?
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a casa and he's an old man too. I born he make me in the 40s. So he's
Right.
already you understand?
Right.
And I would have be there after school and waiting for my dad to make a dust to go
Mm-hmm.
back home for we to eat a little bread and egg, you understand?
Yeah.
And when I see strugglers like that, I turn to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And I looking for, you understand, to survive because sometimes he bring home that money.
Right.
And I, at the age of 10, 11, I had to bring home that money the same way too,
Mm-hmm.
for we to eat our food.
Definitely. Yeah.
You know, and it was for so far a while.
Right.
So you know on the streets what it have.
Of
At
course.
the elements I it, I mean go advantage here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to be a go for.
Yep.
You know how the streets is. I don't know if you fully know, but they how the
Of
streets
course.
it culturized. I mean that either you into badness,
Yeah.
you into
Or you're a
and I
victim.
correct.
Either you're
I
into the badness or you're a victim of the badness.
it have a program, it organized the same way.
Correct.
I remember in deceased rebel. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I say use the Tampico man, you go for.
Right.
I start off as I go
As
for at
I
the
go
age of
for
8. You
going for them
understand?
solo and them rotis.
Going for them solo roti and hard weed.
Correct.
Yeah, thank God no police and what you know, you man on a bike saying, hey, you understand?
Right.
I think
Yeah.
the bike passing me straight
Mm-hmm.
as a solo roti man. From
Yeah.
there you advance, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah,
So you started to go astray basically.
yeah, really, I was never in a line, so I was always a straight parents
Right.
was
You was never in
dysfunctional
our
bad.
line here.
Yeah.
You was destined
Yeah,
to.
son. This is
Yeah.
all I know.
Right.
This is all I know. I watch nobody. the baddest man in the hood and say I want to be like him.
Definitely.
You understand?
And how did they
Yeah.
end up in the Milet program though?
Right. So it it's a trickle effect. A trickle effect. I get with somebody, while on the run, get with our next person, and while on the run, get with our next person. Yes, then,
Right.
and was just and from that later, I, it started with police end up snatching me,
Mm.
right? And I was about probably 13, 14, and with that snatch now, the man asked me, he getting to my intellect while he was saying, boy, I don't even know Inspector Bullying him. He passed by now, but yeah, he said, boy, I see something in you, boy. I see something in you, boy, youth boy. I don't want to give you this case.
Mm.
By way, stop the violence. You understand?
Mm.
And he said, but again, you a chance. If I hear anything on that street, I got coming for your personal. If I
Mm.
hear anything, I see no going on the road, no, but I see a couple change.
Right.
And when I was leaving there, he went by my neighbors now, boy. Because you know, touch on my neighbors and say, hey, see that youth man, I want you watch that youth man, boy. He
Right.
has something in him. I want you watch that youth man. Tell one of my neighbor, hey, it's about program here. I don't know if we're come together and try to get into this.
Right.
Come neighbors like, boy, he born in this, you know. No matter if you think he born in this, it's all you know. But we like him because I am man who still come by the neighbors, open my key, to wash a car, go in the shop for them. Still show love now. Never had
Right.
an enemy in my neighborhood.
Right.
You understand? But I know how I was brought up. And the game one of my neighbor, the program slip and say, boy, Emily slip, sorry. The application form.
Mm.
And say, try and get him into this, my try to weave him into this. My neighbor come and say, I say, boy, not on that, boy. I not on that, boy. I ain't saying, and boy, KG, push come to shove. I mark for that. Only way I could have go, I being real, was in my that.
Right. Right.
And cannot for a while. Yeah, my head had to be real like, I go in this one, I go in that one day, you
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
And the only way I feel I could have be safe. I say, boy, that's not a people for mine. I say, we see what this program, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I said, we see what this program, boy.
Yeah.
You say, boy, you ready? Tell yourself, I'll put you in place. It take a while too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I went up inside there. When I went in my there's big junks in my head.
Yes.
I'm telling you, KG.
Jano.
About six big junks. I skinny.
Oh
Face
God.
tough.
Yeah.
Lip
Yeah.
black up.
Yeah. Wow.
Then when shocked us, I tell you, I had teardrops on my face at the age of 14.
You still have
Telling
teardrops
you.
on your face?
Boy, my that laser off that boy.
Serious? So
I
the
have two
laser
chillers, man.
off the
Yeah.
tattoo?
Yeah, they sent me to with my sniper and to take
Way.
off them thing. I lies in the middle as a achiever in my that after a while. We reached that stage. But
Right.
we're saying, yeah, I in my days, back in my days, if you see I'm out a tattoo or sleeve, a youth man going to school, nah, something wrong with he.
So the
Because we parents was
laser
still kind of
off the
disciplined.
tattoo. So they literally
Correct.
change you physically and all.
Boy, the second day or third day, them cut my junks. I still have, I think in my profile picture, I come in with my poop profile picture with junks in my head.
Right.
Yes. You understand?
Teardrop tattoo.
And teardrops
Grimy.
tattoo. I can show you a picture how I used to be. You say, nah, and how I is now. Partners, when I cut
Jano.
my hair ball, it's all my neck is tattoos, teardrops thing. I say rock my red bandana because I feel, you
Yeah. Here's our
understand?
blood.
Yeah, it's blood. Man. Yeah, so I'm back in
Yeah.
there. I don't know, I don't know what unit.
Of course.
You understand?
Yeah.
Correct. That is it. You understand? I was committed. But I don't know what's going on there. I was
Right. So you
damaged to the
went in,
system.
right. So you went into the Milet program and
Mm,
yeah, your junks, yeah, your teardrop, your grimy down.
mm.
Um,
Yeah.
what was the Milet program like for you? Like what was the benefit of joining the Milet program as a youth coming from that angle of life? As you say, big junks,
KG.
teardrop. How
Or
did that benefit you?
that yeah, in a big way. I, I could tell you all that going. I have a diploma.
Mm,
I um you wouldn't even think out of that life. I got proper meal. I wish construct myself. I'd even look hard again.
Yeah, it's hard to
And the
eat.
fittest thing out here, yeah, as I eat free food and
Yeah.
to teach you how to save money. The biggest thing in my life that was the main subject in my life
Mm-hmm.
was something called life skills by power boy. See that
Right.
that do
And
a major role.
what
Huh?
did this entail? The life skill.
Life skills was entail money management,
Right. How to save money.
male masculinity, um discipline, masculinity development,
Mm-hmm.
self discipline, self
What is
organization,
masculinity development?
male masculinity develop how a man should function in life,
How we
how
should
things
talk.
discipline, sexual discipline,
S-
how to proper approach there. You
Uh,
understand? How to attack um debates, how to be stoic, meaning that how to some things that some battles you just don't fight. How
right.
to have a listen, how to be a listener. How
Hmm.
to you understand? It was a large
Wow. Deep,
aspect. I
deep,
think much
deep,
now.
deep, deep.
That that saved me. It had huh?
No, I say very deep.
Yeah. Yeah. We that was one of these subjects where men never used to really because the person who used to push it out at the point in time had different people pass through.
Right.
Women and men, you understand?
Yeah.
People who support it was more focused on that. It where
Mm-hmm.
we subjects like maths, English, trade, whatever. You understand? The thing with
Mm-hmm.
my that it's not like CCC or other things that we have to attend these classes. It are no if no but no maybe. You wake up in the morning, that's how you're functioning. It's a program. You
Right.
do your PT, your physical, whatever, training, I guess, body right for the day.
Mm-hmm.
You eat a proper meal, KG. You know, long means you have proper years. I'm
Right.
talking about your proteins, your eggs, your carbs, your thing, your cup
Right.
of tea. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Proper
You're
thing.
getting withdrawal because you ain't smoking weed for months,
Right.
but they're eating properly. You understand? You that energy build up now. You do a PT first, you eat something, and you go into class.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to class, and you have to go to class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing something called altar class. So, for instance, it's adults back to
Right. Adults who can read, who can write,
yeah,
who can spell.
proper. I learned to read and write at the age of 20 kg.
Wow.
20, I'm telling you, 20.
Wow.
Boy, this is 100% successful. This program was a boss.
Yeah. And you
I
would
have
see
partners.
other people who was around you same way benefit from the program just like you same way.
There's lawyers, boy, KG. I have
Wow.
partners who's lawyers who have food businesses. You must eat and all. You understand? I have batches, you call them batch now. But
Right.
the reason why we never used to go out there and say, I from my that and thing, people just stereotype us. So,
Right.
other than focus on the my that they'll be like focusing on my that wasn't for bad boys. So men never used to go out and so men my age never used to go out and say, by the time my that man boy.
Uh,
So it was not pips. But there's lawyers, there's doctors at this age, but it
right.
doesn't really come up because it was a stereotype thing. Your parents was they leave you
That
people
kind
in
of
mind that's only
vibes.
criminal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what it is now. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that way I'm telling you, when I look back at my picture, I could show you sometime
Yeah.
the junks and the tear jobs and you would never know that is me now.
Jano.
Yeah, man. My daughter even know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I
So
mean,
yeah.
you bring a lot of insight to the program there because I really don't know exactly what Milat. I used to look at Milat like a boot camp, you know, that kind of vibes. Like
Yeah.
that's what I would have see it as
Yeah.
like a boot camp. But you talking about all this masculinity development, even sexual, what you call it, sexual discipline.
Discipline.
Come on, like
Yeah.
these are things that, bro, nobody even teach me that. You dig? Nobody never teach me them thing. I had to
Yeah.
learn them thing on my own. You know, and a lot of youths out
Yeah.
there just living life with all these type of teachings. You know? So
Correct.
when you see a
So
program like Milat closed down now,
you know.
you had to question yourself and you had to ask yourself, why would they close down a program like this? Now when the program
The
closed
same
down,
thing.
say that again?
The same thing I asked. Why? Why the
Yeah.
target that?
But how did you feel though when you saw being somebody that was so successful through this program and having friends, as you say, lawyers came out of this. How
Mhm.
did that make you feel?
Boy, KG, I get emotional, boy. KG, as I say, I close on my 40s. I don't develop where I develop.
Right.
You understand? I have a family. I have a career. I could simply say, boy, I get you. That is them. You
Right.
understand? KG, you save me. You save a generation because I like to be how they breed and girl. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying on develop. That's how my parents had me. Wherever my parents had in the past, they had in the past, I forgive them.
Right.
But I could have be carry on that cycle, KG,
Hmm.
and bring more on dysfunctional youths
Yeah.
in the system and crime that is killing me out, and nobody asking me how we become like this.
Right.
And when you fix one, you fix a generation, KG. So I
No
go feel
joke.
hurt. How
Hmm.
they go close on this program? Me and that, and you know, what they thinking, what they seeing. Some of these, I don't want to bring it in a politic point of view, but some of these politics, right, or these high people's high society, or even businessmen, people who protecting them, is a man that man they even know. Sorry to say,
Yeah.
yes, then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you might say, is a man that man.
Yeah.
If you turn left and turn right and you ask, where you come from? And
Milat.
that man will tell you, my lad, boy.
Yeah. Facts.
And well trained, you understand? So it will
Yeah.
hurt me to answer your question. I'll feel like I'll have that guilt to just turn around and say, we okay, that is that. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
will hurt, it will hurt. Understand? Because this world is not supposed to be a selfish world, right?
Definitely. And I mean,
Right.
Trinidad is a place too where I think that is the most important part of governing Trinidad, the youth development. Because I mean, when I look at the crimes and I look at all these things going on in the country, who are the people doing these things? Youths. So if you're not focusing on the youths and you're not focusing on the development of the youth and you shut down a program that was so instrumental in the development of the youths, what you're really leaving for the youth? CCC gone, Milat gone, White gone.
I can't really see. I know that there that CCC going. You know
Right.
when CCC? Bungee gather.
Bro, a lot of people, like I was saying before you come online, I was saying that I remember when we was going to school and, we giving trouble in school and we fighting in school and whatnot.
Mm.
Your plan B was CCC, you know.
Yes.
Yep, Liberia. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
how it used to be in school, but everybody wanted to
Yeah, I
pour on that
remember, but
orange.
I think
Even hype,
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah, yeah,
hype.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
Remember the
like yes,
hype
yeah, you
uniform?
remember that? Yes,
Yeah, remember the hype uniform? That was your plan B.
yes.
So
Say
as a
boy, you
youth
say
man,
boy. I remember when I was in Mississippi, I learned how to train
my
or
mother,
something.
I
Cause you
telling
see it,
you,
yeah,
my
yeah.
mother asked me, she said, boy, you don't want to go to school no more. I said, nah. She said, so
Mm,
what you want to do? I said, I'll go CCC. Them days, I don't even know exactly what I want to do in CCC. But
correct. Yeah, that's what.
it's almost
Hey,
like it had an
hey.
avenue for the youths like us, the youths that probably
Yeah,
school wasn't our thing. Like we probably didn't have the discipline to be in a classroom settings or wherever
yeah.
it is, right? But
Because back then they
CCC
didn't
and
even know
these
about
things,
ADHD and thing.
no, we did not. We didn't know about
Yeah,
nothing.
we
You
just
understand?
functioning,
We
right?
just functioning. But the point I'm
Correct.
trying to make is at least it had an avenue for us. Versus if
Proper.
you take away these things now, you don't even know what to do. Right?
Yeah, boy, KG, boy.
And it's very heartbreaking, bro. It's very sad. And I mean, something needs to be done. I know you're good with the principal, Mr. McIntosh,
Yeah.
aka Short Pants. Why just call him Short Pants?
But that is the Calypsonian, yes. I think I grew up. I think you and all grew up. I think he used to be that was his character. To be exact, that
Oh,
was his character. And when he used to sing Calypso, he always had his short pants, high socks, white
oh,
shoes, and yeah,
so
you know
they
that's
should
build a
call him
character,
Short
right?
Pants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you can't call him that in school, eh?
You can't call him that.
Nah, you can't call him that.
He was
He
a
had no
strict
any
man.
discipline. Room.
He was a
Yeah,
strict man,
boy.
very strict.
Is that no nonsense, man, way?
Right,
You
right, right.
understand?
Well,
Everybody, when it comes to leadership in my lad,
yeah,
even the women was strict. They were strict on
right.
discipline.
And they had
They
to.
were strict on they don't play them because my young boys, you
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
We testosterone's high, we on fire. We wanna fight, we wanna thing. So you gotta
Right.
be ready for we now, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean,
and
is
if
it possible that we could get Mr. McIntosh on our call?
yeah, I can call him pass
You
it on to
could
him, give
you
him a
could
call.
add him or you could add him or I had add him.
Are them on the show now? Let me see if I could thing.
See if you
Let
can
me
add
see if I
them.
could.
Yeah, see if you can add
Yeah.
them. Yeah, but I hope you get me some McIntosh on a call. But this very heartbreaking, I must say. You know, I don't know the real reason for the closing down of the program, and a matter of fact, I don't even care. What is the reason that they closing the program? I've been real with all you. I've been honest with all you because it has so much things going on in Trinidad and Tobago, and we just turning a blind eye to it, and we just believe in a set of lies, and this thing just continuing and continuing. As I tell Nigel, I say, when I was going to school and we giving trouble and all these different things, it literally had an avenue for the youth them. We would say, all right, we go in CCC, we go in Milat, we go in YTEP, we go in Hype. At least it had a plan B.
Hello?
Good day, Mr. McIntosh.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Say that again.
I say it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man. You hear me loud and clear?
Yes, thank you very much. I am hearing you, yes.
Yeah, man, blessings. So I was just having a conversation there with Nigel, and we were just talking about the closing down of the program and that kind of vibes. You being the principal of Milat, how does this affect you?
Well, the thing about it is that given the position that I held, well, I've got to use the past tense for the time being anyway. Given the position that I held, then the major concern is the cadets. We had about about 65 of them who had completed year one,
Mm,
and we are getting them ready for year two. They were being prepared to write CSEC in May, June 2027.
right.
So the distressing point for us is what is going to be their situation. You see, they were in the middle. They had, as you well know, it is a 2-year program. So given that we got to June, the academic year was to finish on the 17th of July.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just about to do end of year exams, right? So they were going to finish first year, have the usual July, August break, and then start in September and have the final 8 months before they wrote CSEC exams.
Right.
Um, but given that the program got suspended, you see, part of the important thing, particularly when you're training young men to write exams and so on, part of it is the momentum. So they would have, had things been allowed to run, they would have
Keeping
done
consistency basically.
right. They would have done their exams, and just before they go home, you would have said to them, "Listen, you're going home on vacation, but you need to remember that you don't really have a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Use the time home profitably. Keep reading, keep studying, keep preparing, and when you come back in September, is a hard push forward for the final 8 months, so that you could get your CSEC certificate."
Right.
So these fellas, I'm really, really sorry for them
Hmm.
because they would have done half. They would have certain expectations, they kind of getting ready, and teachers would have been encouraging them. They would have started to do some SBAs,
Right.
and suddenly, there's nothing.
Hmm.
Um, so the big question mark is what do they do, because they really have been left in the middle. So
Definitely.
that's the major
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Of course, additionally, of course, you have some of the teachers, and some of the teachers were, fairly young people, early 30s. Um, some of them recently married. Some have little children,
Right.
7, 8, 9, going to school. They have rent and mortgage to pay, car loans, and so on.
Yeah.
And it came without warning. It came with. It's not that anybody said, "Well, listen, in the next 6 months." That is not what happened.
So when you
They
say it
called
came without warning, how soon?
12 hours.
What?
They called us in. They called us in for a meeting on the 29th. So all of us gathered up in, well, CCC auditorium. We gathered up in the auditorium, and we were told that the program will be suspended on the 30th. The 30th was the next day. So we met the afternoon. I believe the meeting might have been 1 o'clock, and they said um, they got instructions from the ministry that the program will be suspended on the 30th, and this is midday on the 29th.
Wow.
So it
Wow.
was, you know, 36 hours warning, if you could call it that. So people really didn't have a chance. So that's the other group of people that my
Wow.
heart hurts for. Um, because if you had 2 or 3 little children at school, and we have a couple of teachers like that. If you have your mortgage to pay, if you have your rent to pay, if you had
Yeah.
bought a car and so on, and you're organizing your business. If you were planning to go on vacation for July and August, you got stranded. But um, you're kind of keeping your fingers crossed because, I mean, in the first instance, I want to take the ministry at their word. So the minister was saying, this wasn't said to us by the ministry. When the news broke that the program was going to be suspended, the press met the ministers at various times and asked them certain questions. And one of the ministers responsible, when questioned, and he was asked about closing down, he definitely said, "Well, no, it's not closed down. We wanted to review certain things. So the program is suspended. We are reviewing it, and by the end of July, we would have word." Right. So today is what, the 28th.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 more days in July. So I keeping my fingers crossed and every morning on my knees
Yeah, I could imagine.
because I really feeling it for those 65 boys
Yeah.
because if they have nothing to do and they just go back out on the streets, they just go back liming on the block. It's like all the work that we've done for, well, is a little more than a year, because remember, they came in and they did the first, well, as you would know, they did the first 3 or 4 months induction
Right.
before they came in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 18 months they've had trying to reform, change their life, become better individuals.
Mm-hmm.
We were giving them hope, giving them encouragement,
Right.
and then suddenly, bam. So I really feeling it for those 65 guys.
Definitely. Would you say, Mr. McIntosh, that the Milat program has a huge success rate?
Yeah, you listen. Let me put it to you like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
To measure things like huge and so on, some people might be difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but I am saying we're dealing with young men, and many of them, and I understand right now I'm talking to people who have been through the program. The young men who have come to us, many of them, they they left school for whatever reason.
Right.
Some of them got into trouble in school and they got suspended and got suspended and got suspended, and then school say, well, do come back.
Right.
Some of them used to be linemen on the block. Their life do have any order. Their life do have any plans for the future, and you can't really. Well, you shouldn't. You shouldn't really be existing, and you don't have a plan for your life. Then
Definitely.
that is a prescription for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I am saying, if if you take two two people like that and you prevent two people from getting in trouble,
You do a lot.
that's a success,
Of
because
course.
two people, two misguided young men who doing all kinds of wrong things, they could disrupt a whole community.
Definitely.
So, and what happened is every year we had 60, sometimes 77, sometimes 80 something another time. Not everybody got six passes, but for example, the last time we did CSEC, we didn't do any in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, there were about 83 of them who wrote CSEC. Of the 83, 50 something got five passes.
Mm.
And then you had another 25 who got four passes,
Right.
and some would have gotten three passes. But
Yeah.
everybody got at least one pass.
Right.
And the more important thing is that, having spent 2 years in a structured environment, you wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
you,
Routine.
you do your routine exercise,
Mm-hmm.
you go and you have your breakfast, you come to classes, you're in classes till 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, you go back, you're being supervised, you wash your clothes, you clean out your dormitory area. So there's a certain kind of life that you learn,
Definitely.
and that is supposed to help you as you grow and develop. So,
Regardless if I come out with zero passes, you still learn because as
right,
Nigel was telling me, he was saying like you all were teaching stuff like financial literacy, sexual discipline,
right,
masculine development. Like these are things that
life
only a
skills.
father who is a good father could teach you.
They had life skills. That's why
Yeah,
that's
life
why we
skills.
had life skills as such an important part of the program.
Right.
So in addition to you getting 5 or 6 CSEC passes,
Mm-hmm.
once you went through the program and did all that the teachers guided you, you got a life skills certificate to
Mm-hmm.
show that there are things about life and living and getting on with people that you've learned about.
Mm-hmm.
And you have been put on the road, and then the teachers were saying to you, this is the proper way to do things, fight up with it and try to make a better person of yourself.
Right.
And guys, there are guys who come back, every now and then suddenly,
Mm-hmm.
the staff room door will open and three guys will walk in and they say, hey, I remember you from 2 years ago. I remember you from 3 years ago.
Right.
And they will come in, they're looking for Miss Tony, they're looking for Miss Khan,
Mm-hmm.
they're looking for Mr. Riley, they're looking for Mr. Phillip.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because they remember these teachers who impacted their lives and helped them. And they kind of came back, and even though they didn't actually say the words, but as a kind of gratitude, they
Of
kind of
course.
come back to say, um, being here
Change my life.
made us into something,
Yeah.
and we haven't forgotten you. We keep in touch.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of things that I will miss more than anything else if nothing happens
Mm-hmm.
come the end of July.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. For sure. But we had to hope for the best, no, Mr. McIntosh.
Yeah, well, as I tell you, I keeping my fingers crossed and every morning on my knees.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I mean, what would you say? Because you said that they didn't give you a real reason, right? But what would you say if you had to ask yourself, why did they really suspend the program?
Well, well, again, I have been following up some of the conversations and
Mm-hmm.
some of the interviews I've had. And one of the things we've heard is that um, some of the officials have been saying that the programs were expensive to run,
Mm.
and and the government didn't have the money. And I remember there's a journalist from one of the mainstream media asked me a similar question,
Mm-hmm.
and I was saying, um, I am a poor man today, and one of the reasons I'm a poor man now, I'm not complaining. I stating a
Mm-hmm.
fact.
Yep, yep.
I'm a I'm a poor man because I had 3 children,
Right.
and I spent all my money to educate my children, because the best thing I feel a man could do for his children is to educate them.
Definitely.
So I buy the books, I buy the clothes, you
Definitely.
know, I pay for piano lessons.
It is an investment, basically.
Right, exactly. And,
Yes.
and, and, and that is what parents do for their children.
Yep.
And once the child is showing that they have some aptitude, then you push them as far as they could go,
Yep. Yep.
right? And I remember I had a son, well, my younger son, I still have. He could have played football. He got a partial scholarship, partial, meaning that the university he went to abroad paid for some things, but I had to pay some things. So every term, I had to find about 12,000 US dollars. That is 12,000 multiplied by six.
Mm-hmm.
So every 3 months, I had to kind of make that up.
Hmm.
Go in the credit union, save up.
Right.
I can't go online. I can't go to no party. I can't buy no fancy
You're
sneakers
sacrificing for the
for
development of
for
your
for
child.
my for my children, right?
Definitely.
Right, and I do have a problem with that. And I am saying the the state, the government has an obligation to do that for the children.
Of course, they invest into the
And this
future.
and this is why you have schools, and they pay teachers, and they pay for equipment in the chemistry lab, or equipment in the physics lab, or they pay for sporting equipment, and they buy a piano for the school and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And you have now a group of students, because remember, in addition to what the school does, the parents do something as well.
Yeah.
So you have the those who come to Milat. Unfortunately, some of them, maybe their parents can't afford,
Right.
or for whatever reason they had difficult childhood and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been lucky to come up with a program like Milat to be able to help out these young men who,
Mm-hmm.
at age 16, 17, 18, they got in trouble with the regular school. But here it have an alternative school that could still help them out
Of
so that they
course.
will become productive citizens.
Yep.
My response is, you can't put a cost on that.
You cannot. You cannot.
you know,
Or you could put
you
a course on the investment of the future. And these are youths that, if we're being honest, a lot of them are troublemakers. Well, not troublemakers. We don't call them troublemakers, but misguided youths. And if you ignore these type of youths, what position you putting them in?
Well, like I say, we have 65 of them that we put through the first year.
Right.
And now that we're saying we can't do anything now for them, where these 65 fellas going to end up?
Where
And
they
I
go
and
in?
that just to think about that, for
It's
me,
heartbreaking.
it's frightening
I could
too.
imagine, Mr. McIntosh.
It's frightening, you know. So that is kind of what have been going through for the last
Yeah,
month of July. But hoping that we can hold the minister at his word.
right.
So hoping that come the 1st of August, we will hear him saying, listen, we were reviewing it and we're going to start back the program because, you know, the there's been so many good things. I mean, like everything else, the thing imperfect, it have little kinks and so
Of
on.
course.
But over the years, we've been working at the kinks and so on, and
Right,
we will continue working at the kinks.
right.
But to pull the rug and say it's too
It's too
expensive,
expensive.
uh,
Like out of
uh,
all the excuses is money in a country where we spending money on all kind of dotishness. And we,
yeah,
it's a market that we had to hold the faith. You know, we had
yeah,
to
of
hold the
course,
faith. We had to hold
of
the faith.
course,
It have
of course.
anything that you would like to tell the youths, who probably, got laid off from the
This
program and
the,
that kind
the
of vibes?
65 of them, I
Yeah.
would like to say to them, if they tuning in and if they're hearing this, that they were halfway to the exam,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it it is going to be difficult, but I want to say to them, listen, don't give up. I have spoken to some of the teachers, and the teachers have expressed a willingness in cases where they could phone up the teachers to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
They could do that. In some instances, they have the textbook, they know what the syllabus is like,
Mm-hmm.
they could continue working on their own. It's going to
Right.
be a little tougher, but since it's a little tougher, they could work a little bit harder and try to prove to themselves that they can still go ahead and face the exams privately, come May next year. So
Right.
they can register and do the exams as private candidates. And even if they get only two subjects the first year, they could go back
You could
the
go back.
next year
Yeah.
and do another two subjects. There are people who have done it that way until they get the five.
Right.
So I want to say to them, don't give up hope. You have already started, you're halfway through. Fight it and continue the next half.
Definitely. Definitely. And Mr. McIntosh, it was a blessing to have you on the program, you know.
Yeah,
We
well,
wish you the best and,
thank you all for thinking about me,
of
and
course,
you seem to be involved in something quite positive, and I want to
for sure.
encourage you to continue.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Right. Okay, boys.
Hi, Mr.
Good.
McIntosh. Have a great day, man.
Okay, guys. Bye
Yes,
bye.
I. Bye.
It's,
Yeah, man, Nigel.
yeah, KG, that one touch my
But that
personal.
one touch me, bro. My pause reason for hour now. I being
Oh, you were
real. My pause reason for
KG.
hour because
Me even know. I hear you said 2 years, so they already cut it down. My back in my days it was 3 years and
it
a
was
half.
3 years and a half.
And then yeah, and the men getting the men getting so that how we expect to get distinction and thing now, but man was getting full
Right,
pass. So,
right. That kind of
yeah, boy.
vibes. John, no. I feel
I see the phone line on fire, right? People will talk to you.
well. They had to come in, but one thing he said that stand out to me. He said that I am a poor man because I
Yeah.
invested everything into my children. And I been real
Yes,
with
boy.
you, bro. That's how I just feel about myself. Sometimes I just feel like I could have been much further in life if I
Mm-hmm.
if I focused on myself more. But the reason I am in this seat right now, having a conversation with you, having a conversation with Mr. McIntosh, is because I am not thinking about myself. I am thinking about the investment into the future, the investment into the people that need a helping hand. So for him to come and say that, it raised my pause because, like, we
Yeah.
need more selfless people in power. We need more selfless people in government seats. As Orlando Octave say, on my interview the other day, he said, KG, we need people like you in politics. We need people who are
People like, yes,
God-fearing
I was listening to
in
that same,
politics. Yeah. He
same
say,
segment, yes,
yeah,
Orlando. And I was like,
he
I
say,
wanted to, and I,
yeah, he say, who you want to govern us? The people who
correct.
evil, the people that don't care about people. And when you really look around the place now, like in society, we have a lot of teachers that don't like children. We have a lot of doctors that don't care about people's health. We have a lot
Teachers,
of
yeah.
DJs that don't even like music, so they ain't playing the upcoming artist thing. We have a lot of people in positions that are not passionate about the position that people put them in. How can you
Yeah,
be a
respect.
leader of a nation and you could come and tell an organization that is helping the youths, investing into the future of the misguided youths, and say that program too expensive? So the flag in Macoya that they play how much million for, that not too expensive?
Facts.
All the bullshit, all you spending money on this, that, put up stage for carnival, all kind of kicksy thing. Every year a new stage had to go up. Millions of dollars. That not too expensive to see people wind the bumper on a stage. But the youth and them who we need to focus on the most in this country, that too expensive, boy.
I can see, I like how you're seeing it, I love how you're seeing it,
You have to
You understand?
invest into the future. That is not a bill. That is an investment that is going to benefit our society. But you
In a
know,
big way too.
everybody don't see it that way, bro. Everybody
Listen,
don't see it that way,
KG,
bro.
the man who teaching stick fighting throughout the Caribbean, I don't know if I could call it my batch, like my roommate, everything. He
Right.
was, I didn't real, he was a criminal. You understand? Young, and
Bro,
he teaching youths stick fighting through in schools and in the Caribbean now. Shoot a mile, you understand?
bro, let me tell you something, right? I post a video yesterday and all. I do an interview with a Trinidad artist called Youngin,
I watch it.
right?
Young and
And I post
yeah.
a little part where we were speaking about, and there's something I noticed, bro, right?
Mm.
The people who was investing into artists like Swanee and Rebel and this one and that one was literally the same gang leaders that we just looked down on, right? So even though they are gang leaders and community leaders or whatnot, they were the ones who chose to invest into the generation that was coming up when it comes to music and arts. These politicians, these big soca artists, all these people that we deem so important in society, I have never seen them invest into the youth. It's people like myself, it's people like Prezi, it's people like Tyson. If I had to be honest, they talks with KG, you know, we just keep it real. Is these so-called criminals were investing into the youths and giving them a chance, giving them an opportunity. Why every time we had to look towards the leaders of the land for opportunity, we always had
Yes,
to get a
boy.
backhand slap, brother.
Preach, my brother,
We
boy.
always had to get a backhand slap. But they go call man gang leader and they go call man this and they go call man that and they go vex with KG and they go all kind of thing they go do. But all they will come and close down programs and or let me call it suspend. Right, Mr. McIntosh say that he hoping for the best. But I being real with you, Mr. McIntosh, don't put your head on a block for these people, you know.
And the same thing to do CCC that the restructuring because whatever.
But look, the close down CPEP.
Close down.
Look how long the close down CPEP and they say they're bringing it back and this the place stink. The grass tall.
But KG, I just say if it's like that, take CPEP and let them took some plants in a acre land and plant things to go back in the country.
Brother,
And, you understand?
the reality is, and they for all the people that are watching the show right now, the reality is, them people do not care about poor people.
I'm telling you, boy.
They do not care about poor people. Everything.
I don't know how the country so delusional, boy.
They are delusional.
I'm telling you.
But that's why we're doing this right now, because we need them to understand. They do not care.
They're not seeing it.
Nigel, them will come and them will talk about crime and them will bring SOE to stop crime and all kind of thing, but all they will close down a program like Milat. So what them 65 youth and them going and do now?
telling me, boy.
Motivate the self. Help the
Boy,
self.
the same food them ministers like the fish and thing don't is my that men cooking them food by the same um sea boil and all them thing is my that men had them business boy. It seem I'm telling you boy, this is beyond you could see that's corruption, but you could see that the war with the development because crime is a business pa. It
It,
is a
it
business.
is.
The more men you get dysfunctional or not operating is huh? Yeah. The more men they get under that level of crime, I'm saying it's more money in them pocket. And you could see this is the reason I'm
And
just
I
saying,
don't care who say that is not true. That is true.
no, that way.
Well, let me take our next call now. Who else we have on the line?
Yeah, let me see. I see. Hold on there. Let me see. The ringing off. I don't know which line to touch right now. Right there.
The line's hot.
Yeah. Um.
Who we bringing on here now? This is unbelievable. Mr. McIntosh, do not put your head on no block for these people. Right? I am all hoping for the best. I am all going and pray. But at the end of the day, it is a pattern. We're seeing it over and over and over. These people do not care about the youths. They do not care about the development of the youths. They do not care. Full stop. Until them show me that they care, I would not change my mind on my stance. They do not care. They lack passion when it comes to the youth them. And when we talking about the youth, we talking about the underprivileged. Kite have a whole heap of youth who grow up a certain way and who life nice and they just pay all the attention to them. You went CIC, you went QRC, you went presentation, you went Hillview, they love you. But from the time you're underprivileged, look, Nigel say his mother was a woman on the streets. His father used to play wappy up in Queens. Who from Arima know Queens? That is the life he come from. He had nobody to guide him along his journey. That is just the reality of life. A lot of youths do not have the guidance. How can you blame a youth that do not have the guidance? A lot of these youths out there who come out doctor and lawyer and police and all kind of thing, most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, but the majority of the time, they had a mother in the household, a father in the household, sometimes two parents, sometimes an uncle, sometimes a big brother, but somebody was there with a positive influence to influence them to do better. Even me, as much as I get real trouble in my life, I still had people who used to influence me to do good, and them things stay with me. Them things stay with me. You understand? So without proper influence, without proper guidance, without proper mentorship, I just always talk about mentorship. I think mentorship is the most important thing in society. Everybody need a mentor. A being real. I think that is something, especially in Trinidad and Tobago, because I could only talk about Trini. That is where I born, that is where I grew. That is where my experiences at. And if it's one thing I realize, we don't pay attention to mentorship. We think mentorship is not important. We think that having someone in the household, someone in the community to really mentor youths, we think that is not important. So we're looking for all kind of different avenues to stop crime and to help youths and to change youths. But we will suspend a program like CCC. We will suspend a program like Milat. We have to be honest with ourselves here. You understand? We have to be honest. And not just honest, but we have to be wise. Wisdom is a hell of a thing, you know? And a lot of our leaders lacking wisdom. You know? I telling you, you know, when I watching all these strategies that they're trying to use to fight crime, it not working. You understand? So at the end of the day, we have to be honest. But let me take our next call now. Who we are here on the line here, dog? That's all. Make sure.
Hold on, see.
All right.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Now you can talk. Yeah.
Right. We on there.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon.
Hi, good day, good day, good day. And who are we speaking to?
You're speaking to Miss Johnson.
Hi, Miss
I
Johnson.
I was a senior social worker at the Milat My Part program.
Nice, nice, nice. So, Miss Johnson, we were just having a conversation with Mr. McIntosh. Just listening
I
to him,
remembered him.
it raised my pause. It raised my pause. You know, but what is your outlook on everything that is going on right now?
For one word,
Yeah.
sad.
Sad.
One word, sad.
What about it has you so sad?
Because what I've seen in the program, the results. I must say what I've seen. Well, so what I've seen, yes, but the results, excuse, that occurred due to the program. So I've seen, to explain a little further, I've seen many lads, young men came into the program one way and they left another way, which was a better way.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, watching something like that, especially from your angle, doing social work and all these things, what would you say is like the biggest challenge dealing with youths in the Milat program?
I would not want to say a challenge, the biggest challenge, but I think this how the structure was. It 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 there were a number of pieces or parts that came together to make the program whole.
Right,
So I don't want to say the biggest challenge, like one area had a challenge,
right.
but I guess the pieces or the parts or the combination of the different sets of program
Right.
came together to make that program a success.
Make it a success. Definitely. So you would say that the Milat program was definitely a successful program.
Definitely, 100%. I'll close my eyes and say that.
Damn.
I may even go further to say, I will put my neck on a block.
Yeah, put your neck on a block.
Yes, telling you, yes.
Like as I was
Yeah.
telling Nigel offline, I was telling him that I remember going to school as a youth. And let's just say, for instance, school wasn't really a thing. We used to look forward to probably joining a CCC or probably joining a Milat, you know, like it, at least we had a plan B, you know,
Yeah.
and to see the suspension of this program, it's very heartbreaking, Miss Johnson, if I had to be real.
Yes, it is. But somehow there's deep down, I don't think it's a suspension, and I think there's just a close off.
It done. That is the day.
It's a kind of terminal. It's a kind of little. I don't know more. Those harsh words, but it's little. It's really detrimental.
So you think that is a day? Your personal opinion, you think that is a day? They ain't bringing back no program.
Nah. They don't know to revive nothing.
Wow.
Nothing going to revive. They're going to close that off. And
So
that is
why
closing off.
why
That is
would
closing
they
off
do that
people.
though?
I can't talk for them, but listen. If I could beg, literally beg.
You would beg for that.
And I will beg for that. Yes. If I
Definitely.
could beg, although I don't have begging skills, but I'm begging still.
Yeah. If I had to
But I want them
ask
to
you,
hear now.
yeah, definitely. But if I had to ask you, like, what was one of the greatest success stories as you as a social worker, you know, going through the paces? Give me one touching
No, I can't.
success story.
I have several.
Too
No,
much to
literally.
pick from.
No. I'm telling you because they came to my home.
Yeah.
They lived in my home after the program, so it's not too much. I can't just give you one.
Right. But you have seen it a
Four
lot.
at one time was in my home, so I could tell you it's really something else. It's really I had many success. I had a young man who committed murder at the age of 16
Mm.
and went to YTC
Right.
and would have, determined, well, it's murder. You have to go to big prison after.
Right.
And, we really sold the program to the then defense and
Right.
to the whole legal team.
Yeah.
And he came and was on our watch. I had to commit to really keeping him and relating to the court and giving them updates as the case was.
Right.
But today, he make me proud if I call him now, the mother, I work with the parents as well as these children and the background. Some of them from troubled home,
Right.
from homes, from orphanage, and they would have come through that program and they are success
Hmm.
to today. And I went in there in 2006 to today. They are proud. They're making me proud. They will call me Miss J, Miss J. This is what I'm doing now. I'm better now.
Yeah.
I will
It's
I
a
will
real thing.
support I will support their business.
Yeah.
Salute them because they are in military, whatever they are,
Yep.
wherever they found themselves.
Yep.
That the young man who was talking about who committed murder and went through the program successful and went through the program successful with all the arms of the program affecting him.
Hmm.
And today he's self-employed in the mother home. It's very touching.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The
But
families
Johnson.
who were victim of that crime,
Right.
they have come to see him change now. It's very transforming. And
Wow.
as I said, that program closing down. Listen, trust me,
Is the
it had
worst.
me up in the feelings. It had me up in the feelings. It had me up in the feelings. If I should say that, it had me up in the feelings.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, sometimes they make it seem like the youths and them, especially like the misguided youth, that have no hope for them. You would say different because of your experience.
That Milat program is a
Was
way
definitely hope.
of hope. It's a way of hope. It is a way of hope. It is a way of hope.
Yeah. So, Mr. Johnson, what would you say? Like, what word of advice you would give to the youths who were laid off the program recently?
I really don't know words to compensate to say to you, to say what I could say is like is a loss you suffer. How
Wow.
I'm going to tell you, you lost this.
Yeah.
What I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
what I'm going to tell you,
True.
keep faith,
Yeah.
keep courage.
Yeah.
You can't say those things. I am lost for words. I'm telling you. I
I
don't
feel
say
it.
I'm a woman of many words, but I'm lost for words in this instance.
Yeah. When you heard the
And
news.
I grasped at the opportunity when I was asked, to say something on behalf of my letter, and I said I definitely will.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
And I also started the shoes that, and not to cut you across, and you was
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
ask me a question, even in the line of parents,
Mm-hmm.
because I've worked with them, with these lads, to bridge the indifference, to bridge family trauma, conflict,
Right.
went to court, make things amends. It
Yeah.
is really a transforming place,
Yeah.
a place of transformation for these young men.
Yeah.
And mothers, work as a social worker, work with parents to let them know, okay, we give them a try here.
Yeah.
Let go through the program,
So Milat program was something that you would have definitely advised a lot of youths to go into.
Of course, even I'm not there now, because I'm in health now, but
Right.
I personally would have signed for make recommendations. Listen,
Yeah.
no, all hope and not gone. Go to my lab, they will take him here. Meet the requirements, get it from school, get a report from school. Doesn't matter what the report, it has zero on it, you can't cope, whatever it is. Go to my lab and they will take them in. No, I still recommend people to go to the program as it have it, but now what do we do?
What do we do?
I think that is a blatant human injustice.
I feel it.
And for young men who are at risk, listen, you really want this place to turn up upside down. No, I'm serious.
Yeah. Mr. McIntosh said that they said that the program was a little too expensive, right? When it comes to the government and whatnot. And he also said that, he said, KG, I am a poor man today because I took all my money and invested it into my children's future, into their education and whatnot. The government is looking at this like it's just money we spending, but this is really an investment into our future.
It is. It is. To make it, I have grandchildren. I have grandchildren. I have 5 grandchildren now,
Yeah,
and I want to know that they could go after a soldier, a policeman, a coast guard,
right.
a businessman who would have passed through my life and discipline and what they have learned there, they put it into practice and become better citizens to face
Yeah,
who they rub shoulder with, who will be their peers.
yep.
No, but without the influence and the impact of my part program, I'm frightened for I have to take my grandchildren out of the country. What
Wow.
will happen?
What will happen? I always
What
say
will happen?
mentorship is the most important thing for these youths. Without
And,
mentors, who
and
are
that
there?
is what I salute all these personnel, the security personnel who work on my lab program,
Yeah,
all Coast Guard, Air Guard, soldiers. I salute all of them. They find the lads on them who loiter in, who feel that they don't want to do the task, whatever. They stuck with them, and make them better persons. The rapport,
yeah,
the communication, the relationship that they establish with these young men,
yeah,
giving them hope and giving them some resemblance of, wholeness again.
yep.
Yeah, these personnel would have really worked with the program.
Mm-hmm.
How could you deny, a population and male, a male species now is almost like extinct,
I'm
We
sure
have
about
we have
that.
them.
I'm sure about that. Especially the
If you
black youth.
if
Especially
black
the
youth,
Afro black youth.
uh,
We had to be
if
honest.
if I record now and I pull just data from one newspaper,
Yeah.
20 black people, no, 20 people was shot, 19 of them was black people,
No joke. No joke. That is the statistics.
and 19 males, 19 males. No,
19
listen, we have
males.
to know that the males are at risk, or
Correct.
young
A
males are at
dying
risk.
breed. A
Wow.
dying breed.
Yeah,
I
and I
mean,
have
Miss
some.
Johnson, the only thing we could do is hold the
Yeah.
faith, you know. That's the
Well,
only
but
thing we
I
could
want to
do.
do more than that. For this call this afternoon, I want to say I'm contending. I am
Yeah.
contending for the Milat and the MyPad program. I'm contending. I throw my hat in the ring. I'm
Yeah.
saying I am fighting for this program.
Definitely. And we
I can't
appreciate
just sit
that.
down and wait and wait. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm fighting for the program. Yes,
Yeah. So
I'm
much,
glad that I could have had a talk with you.
of course, and we appreciate it, man. But before you leave, for the
Yes.
youths, as you say, you're lost for words because what can you really tell these youths right now? But if you really had to tell them something, what would you say?
Wow. There are still a few good people standing, and don't think all is lost.
Right.
No, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
There
yeah.
are few good people still standing,
For sure.
who routing for them,
Yeah.
who supporting them,
Who
who really
believe in
watching their
them.
back. Yes, they're watching their back.
Definitely. Well, I'm Justin. It was a pleasure, you know. We appreciate.
You're most welcome. You're
And you
most
just
welcome,
keep
sir.
doing what you're doing, you know?
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
KG.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bro, it real, it real, it real, it real, it real.
I'm
It
sure, yeah.
deeper than what people may make it seem like it is. You know, people might look at the show and they might see a headline and they might be like, all right, KG, and I'm going to talk about the Milat program. But they wouldn't really
Yeah.
understand how deep this topic really is, in a bro. This deeper than just you closed down a school, or you closed down a panyard, or you closed down a club, or you closed down a bar. No, this is literally a program that really facilitated a certain avenue of youths. And I don't think it even have any other programs like the Milat program. Does it?
Now I get you.
Like what a program
Based on-
a little youth who as Miss Johnson say, a youth commit murder At 16 years old and a
I
murder.
wanted to see that, but yeah,
You
I'm
know, I
glad
used
she's a
to be
social worker. She can tell you
16.
that. Yeah,
What your mindset had to be to commit murder at 16, bro? 16, you supposed to be pitching marble. You supposed to be going and eat ice cream with a little girlfriend. You supposed to be happy. You supposed to be
Oi,
at peace. You have
AG,
no bills to
AG,
pay, and you killing.
my daughter is my daughter is 11, right? What my daughter experiencing now is nothing compare,
To what you was
not even
experiencing.
close. So at that age, boy,
Shh.
at the age of 6, 7, I'd say 8, is when I start. This is life. I realize this is life, and
Right,
I be seeing you. This be making um podcast, you wanna call it, but interviewing these youths
right.
who any Trinidad and thing. And
Yeah.
I was like, if that music then shoot off. These
Where the
people
would
have
I
been worse
be?
than how I was.
Where at a
Yeah.
such bro, let me get you a story and get the people a story here. As we hear one time. The first time I ever
Mm,
meet Swanee, right? They back in like
mm,
2016 or something. I remember I went and pick him up in Tong. I drive down in Tong from Arima and I went and pick him up.
yeah,
He jump in my car, I
mm,
carry him up Arima, bring him in the studio. Now these days
mm,
Swanee is nobody. Nobody do not know who is Prince Swanee. He just a ghetto youth from Port of Spain. And we come up in
yeah.
the studio, and if it's how happy he was, bro, because we playing FIFA, we there, we
Mm.
laughing, we talking about all kind of shit, we recording music. 'Cause I just try to keep my studio and keep my place with a certain energy. So when the youth and
Comfortable,
them come,
entertained, yeah.
yeah, they have to see a
Like
different
home.
side to life. I will feed them. I will get them food. I will get them things to drink, anything they want,
Proper.
just for them to
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable and understand that there's more to life than sitting down on a block and just smoking and just idle. This is how we want to
Proper.
really live. We want to live with love. We want to live with that comrade energy,
Mm.
right? So that is why I used to
Okay.
push. And I remember Swanee come up for the first time and we had a good time. And then I ended up dropping him back home down, I think he was living in Basilan Street them days. And I remember
Yeah.
dropping him by Calvary Hill day. And he jumped out the car, bro, and he started to walk up the hill. And I watching him in my rearview mirror walking up the hill. And he is literally
Mm.
walking up the hill with his head down. Like he is sad that he left my presence, basically. Because he was like, wait, boy, when we buy KG,
That
is
was
love, is
close.
goodness,
That was real love. That
you
connects.
know?
And what's
Right.
that? Just so you meet Swanee, just so I meet Swanee, and it was Zebby. I don't even know Zebby.
Of course I know
Was
Zebby.
that
Of
man?
course I know Zebby.
Right.
But
A
when
man
I
from
saw that,
Dago
bro,
introduced me to Zebby and Zag.
yeah.
Yeah, and them was young, them was
Yeah. But
babies,
when
and
I
them was doing
felt that energy, right? I felt the
yeah, man.
energy of him being sad, bro. And it's that what really inspired me to help this youth man, you know. I say, nah. I say them youth and them want to be happy. A lot of these youth and them who holding gun and who this and who feel the bad and who is 6 and who is 7, them really looking for acceptance, you know. That is the reason why they're joining these gangs and looking up to these men, and because they're looking for acceptance. So if they are accepted by good people, what you feel will go on.
Yeah, to feel like home, my
But
dog,
the
boy. You
only
feel like
people
yeah,
accepting them is the gang leader from in the neighborhood, is the bad man from round the corner. So these
correct.
youths and them have no choice. I know about it, you know about it, bro. We all were looking for love. We all were looking for acceptance. That's all the youth and
For
them
the
want.
belonging, boy. Just for
Belonging.
place of
You're
belonging, place of
looking for your
belonging.
tribe. And a lot of these youths smart. A lot of these youths want to be something, but they don't know how to
Mm,
be because you're young, your brain like a sponge, and all you could do is live the life and play the cards that were dealt to you.
correct. See
And it
thy
will take
life.
a miracle for you to literally say, all right, let me switch up my thing. Them ain't gonna switch up the thing just so we need more mentorship, bro. All them strategies the government trying to think SOE, this, that, them thing not working. We need
Tell you, boy.
mentorship programs, not program just for a man to build a pipe or a man to build a cupboard or a man. No, we need mentorship programs. And I think
Indeed.
that is what
I
Milat was.
I listening to you though, and what as we see when you mentoring is you talking to them. Sorry, interviewing
That is
them.
all that
Them
is, do, bro.
if these youths dedicated to something. I listened to these same youngin yesterday.
Yeah.
If the government know, if people elderlies know how these youths committed when they get like programmed to something, they be committed and even more committed than the, the youth man who was well developed and programmed to say you're gonna be
Sure.
a lawyer. The youngin say
Sure.
yesterday that the ICD thing. That's what youngins say ICD thing. And I say I want to be like this. There's waiters, 7 it is. And I would
That what
say
he saying. He
best
says
friend.
since he young, he like them thing.
Yeah.
He was really
I'm
enough to
telling
say
you.
it. I was so happy he said that because
Yeah.
it is real. Now people who don't
It is
understand the
real.
life go just be like, what shit he talking by the man? I'm lost. No,
Yeah.
they're not lost,
Yeah.
bro. This is a reality. They are living in communities where this is what they are seeing every day. The man says since he
Correct.
young, he like Rasta. The man says since he young, he like 17. That's what he
And
like. He
now
did
it
like
is.
the next side. And that is just what it
Yeah.
is.
The man cousin or your family member said this is it. He said, nah, I dedicate. And that's that word alone. Dedication and commitment. The sooner that these men go ride hard and die hard for something that makes sense for them. And in it,
Correct.
and I telling you, when I realize that, hey, they know life so easy, boy. I have to learn this trade, you know what? I go and be an engineer, boy. I go and be dedicated. I have a bunch of men supporting me.
Yeah.
That way it is.
That
You
is what it
understand?
is. That is what it
That way it
is.
is.
It is
This
what it is. We need
right
more
on.
mentorship. Bro, you know how much youth's life
Uh-huh.
I personally change? I change real youth's life. And then it have a lot of them I give up on. And sometimes I'd be like, wait, boy, KG, boy. But some of them was just too, like the destiny, no, but it was too much. And I
It
end up
doesn't
giving up. And when I give up, I see them fall back in the life. So when you give up on the youth and them, they will fall back in the life.
correct. It's
Preaching
a
to the
constant.
leaders of our land. Stop giving up on the youths.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Serious thing, like he, boy. You
Boy,
hit it
them
hard
will,
on
boy,
the
them
nail,
will
like
get
the
me
nail,
vexed on this program here today. And I telling you, boy,
boy.
Miss
You
Johnson
know
says
it
she
have,
don't know what to say. She's speechless.
boy. You see that youth man? When I youth man, she talking about with that murder. But he was an introvert to core. To talk to he, I talk to him about six. And he don't answer. He don't
Right,
talk. He
right.
never used to talk in the program until he
Wow,
having heavy debates because you had debates there now, boy. Debates they like we pick a subject, you pull a team, I pull a team,
right.
and we going against each other hard. That's the win we believe now, boy.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah, yeah,
telling you,
yeah.
watch now.
Believe in
When I
yourself.
man lead a debate, huh?
Yeah, believe
He
in
leading a
yourself.
debate.
Believe in your
Yeah,
opinions.
he
Yeah.
leading a debate with a smile. He never used to smile. So the program makes someone who was totally nonchalant
Wow.
into somebody who loving life now. Come
Wow,
on,
wow,
KG.
wow. It
Come on,
find
you
a
don't
way
watch
to
this
break the
program.
ice. It find a way to
Man,
take, bro. Whoa.
man, they can't just get rid of this. You're mad. They can't. I tell any minister personally, this is not a political agenda. It have no politics. Trust me, it was mixed races in this program. I telling you, double look on what you're doing here.
Yeah,
This is one thing. You
yeah.
understand? Because if it will never have a protest on this, but there's the kind of thing you're leading. But if it do ever have a protest, the people
It
who
should.
defending you is Milat men who going against the people. No,
Yeah.
look deep into this program. Please, please, there's a mistake. Like, let's say there's a mistake it could easily fix, and this needs to be fixed. Don't let it go
Definitely.
to waste. Please,
Definitely.
but
Definitely,
you
boy.
understand? This
Hey, boy.
change, the phone lines still and a blaze here, boy,
We have
dog,
more
boy.
calls. We're bringing the callers now, man. Who you bringing
Yeah,
in the
yeah. I
next?
want to tell you for everybody who feel like we buy MSC. Yeah, it's still on our blaze, yeah.
Phone lines hot.
Mhm.
Nah, because the
Yeah.
people need to come out and speak. We can't just ignore these things. A lot of things happening in this country and we continue to ignore it. We're not ignoring this one. When it comes to youth development, we fighting for that. I can't fight for the over 40 and the over 50. But I will always come on my platform and I will fight for the youths. All I could say what you want about KG. Or they could say what all you want about KG. Or they could talk about me, how much all you want. Or they could go around the place and talk about this bad, talk Trini bad, this. Or they could do whatever all you want. But you see, when it comes to the youths of my country, I am passionate. I am passionate about this topic. And that is the main reason I'm here today. I'm passionate because I was once a youth that was lost and misguided. I didn't grow up with her father. I grew up with her mother, a single parent, and she was trying to make ends meet with me and my sister. And it's not all the time she could have been there to guide me and show me how to be a man. Sometimes it takes, not even sometimes, most of the time, it takes a real man to grow a young boy into a man. And I never had that. So I had to look for that inspiration in the streets. I had to go out there and line with men and listen to what them was saying and watch how them was moving. And that was the only way I would have learned life. And I learned a lot of negative things coming up. I still trying to take out some of them things I learned out of my hard drive because it does affect me even up to this day. You understand? But at the end of the day, I was still fortunate to find my place in life. Music saved my life. And big up my mother, same way too, for like always supporting me. Big up my grandmother for always supporting me. So even though I didn't have strong men in my life, I had strong women in my life, same way too. So they probably could not really mold me into the man I was supposed to be, but the little support system I had, my mother knew I wanted to do music. So my mother used to still kind of, as I say in the earlies of the podcast, she bought my first production program and say, son, you want to do music? Look. And I slap it in my little old laptop, and from there it was history. And anything I wanted to do from there, she always support me. When I wanted to build my studio, my grandmother say, we all land in the back of the house, you do your thing. You understand? So support is definitely needed when it comes to these things.
Evening time.
Well, you me there?
Yeah.
What going on, my brother?
I'm to okay, you man.
Idea. Now, you see this man on the line here? They the man here who really teach me about Milat. I didn't know nothing about Milat. Nothing. And I remember we driving down Mousica Road, and I think it's you that really show me the building and say, that Milat day. And you tell me like what exactly Milat was and all these different things. But I never know what was Milat. You know, and I know you a man went through the program same way too. You know? What?
Well, boy,
when you hear the
I
news,
went in the 07. That
Yeah.
was the first batch. He was the pilot.
you went in the
It was really
2007.
rugged. What are you telling you, KG?
2007, you say?
Yeah, I think that 2007.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you was the first batch.
Yeah, first batch.
Right.
What are you telling you? KG, about 300 fellas from
Yeah.
different part of life. It was rugged at the first portion. I can remember it had one or two fights that break out. It was really rugged.
Yeah.
You're dealing with tongue man, you're
Right.
dealing with this man, you're dealing with all kind of people.
Uh-huh.
So and it's at a boil long because it had some people who could not take that pressure. In terms of the discipline, the getting up every morning,
Oh,
the drills.
right.
So the fittest is who I go say survive that.
Right.
And I had my little court case going on, and because the court did put me in a home. And she would doing a little righteous thing, doing good thing in the home use a few away me, Terry King, Terry Williams. It was a good bit about a few away, about 8 away.
Right.
And we joined the program. And I start to reform. I feel the reform in my own body.
You feel it.
I feel it. I start to say, it wasn't easy. I was a little delinquent, not proud, not boasting, but
Right.
I wasn't on the right path.
Yeah.
And to go in it and one or two mentors, plenty mentors, I said, you know, one or two. Devon Bakker, Adams, these are people, these instructors I talking about.
Right.
That see through winner. They say, oh God, we could fight with these young juveniles.
Yeah.
And through the whole course, we who pick the mentors who see this army person that they want to be like and they follow he part.
Right.
He guide them. Who might see a Coast Guard, the like Coast Guard thing, that mentor guide them. I can remember at a point at time, Errol Fabian was one of my mentors. He come into the program.
Yeah, because he have a deep story too.
You see?
Yeah,
And
he was on drugs.
He do certain things. And it was a real nice vibe, dog. I tell you, it was rugged, but it teach me, it sent me to school. I didn't get to finish school, but through Milat, I gave my little subjects, my
Right.
little social studies, my little English.
Mm-hmm.
I went and do trade through Milat. I didn't finish the trade. I'm not proud right now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish, but I know people that I met have a brother in foreign. Now he's an electrical engineer.
Right.
He buy a house just the other day. And it's through Milat or Milat sent me through different course, MIC, YTEP.
I wanna cut you, bro. I wanna cut you. But looking like my camera overheat. So let me just cut for 5 minutes and I'll bring you back on the line.
Say no more.
Hi, bro. Yeah. So my camera overheat day. You know where let's go. So we call back. Nigel.
Thank you, G.
Yeah, bro, you back on there, then.
Nice.
Right.
Right?
We call back Jared.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, man, hold on. Don Blaze, but you could take 2 more, right? Nice.
Yeah, we go take 2 more calls. After Jared, we go take 1 more and we go wrap up. Yeah, boy, dog, boy. Yeah, so you're saying you continue now.
Right, so I was explaining to the amount of mentors it had in the program.
Yeah.
It was hard to go astray.
Yeah.
That people was in music, that people who was in all kind of things. The program was divided in 2 sections.
Right.
My lad, my part. One to do who feel academically inclined, they put them in my lad. Who feel good to the hands, they send them in trade. But one thing, we all have to do drills together. We all have to eat together. If we're going on a hiking, we all going hiking together.
Right.
Everybody had to learn music. Everybody had to match. At that point in time, for Independence Parade, Cadettes want to know who is we because we matching better than Cadettes. Yeah, they thought I want to be on that. Cadettes just say, who's there? The feel is there.
Yeah, you call that feel as army, man.
Yeah. The way them instructors teaching everything, proper thing they teaching at one time.
Right.
I used to make up my bed as I get up, you make up your bed. Your day is good night. I learn all that in my lap.
Wow.
I learned to pass seam in my pants. I still put seam in my pants up to today.
Right.
I go to a seam in my pants. Keep on neat little aura, that kind of vibe.
Right.
So the program was beneficial in
masculine
many
development,
aspects.
as Nigel call it.
It was what?
Masculine development.
Yeah. You're right. Nigel, right?
How to be a man, basically.
Correct.
So
But
you as a man who was in the program. When you hear the news that the program was suspended, what was the first thoughts?
I couldn't believe that.
I
couldn't believe that was I started to call along the place. All the year Milat closing indefinitely or whatever. People say, yeah, but we was confused.
Right.
It's the last portion now we get to realize how serious it is. We have people get pulled the compound and it was a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I started to feel, well, if that was we boy, what did I do we boy as?
Right.
People who know join the program, what I
Right. Who you would I be today if it wasn't for Milat?
I would not be this person today, KG man. I would not be this individual I become this because I'm Milat. People teach me from in Milat. I learn different things. And I appreciate that too. And I know plenty fellas feel that pain too.
Right.
When you start to watch through the protective service, when I start to analyze and I watch left, I see now Milat man police.
Well, when Nigel tell him, he's saying everywhere he turn is Milat.
Correct. The instructors in military training had to deal with Milat people more stern because that was a walk in the park for we.
Right.
So they had to give them a different kind of treatment because it is too easy for all you. We had to put more pressure on all you.
Right.
Most of my friends tell me Milat men had a hard time in training, but always excel the training.
Yeah.
So that's why you start to see now all protective forces is Milat. To me, that is a good thing.
And the close on a program like that, boy?
I don't know no school that is teach what Milat is teach.
But I was asking Nigel, I say, it any other program or any other facility like Milat in Trinidad?
No.
That's
What
what I
am I
saying.
knowing? Nigel, me know if you know any.
Why I
It at the
why
boot camps and them long time,
if you
KG.
start
Remember the boot camps and them long time?
chatham, I shall have press to
Right,
press play.
Chatham.
But the
Right,
thing
but
is,
what
Milat
we
is
could
not
run-
really just a boot camp. It's
Nah.
something way
boy,
deeper
nah.
than just a boot
Yeah,
camp.
it really
Tell you, whoever come with that and that's the next thing I didn't get a chance to ask short pants
It's
and
a
them, but they will
beautiful
get
idea.
who come with that? Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to pick it up from America or the UK or something.
Right.
But nah, boy.
It work. It
It
work.
would
That formula,
KG.
the formula now.
Yeah, it work.
KG, but there it is. It have Milat men who will walk into a single woman home, but the father might, the man in the house might be dead or he just make himself non-existent or wherever it is,
Right.
and change her home, change her wherever you want to call it there, she's sons and daughters and thing,
Because of the
into a
training he got
proper
from
structure.
Milat.
Yeah. He teaching her next man. It might sound funny, yeah, man doesn't go with that and thing, because
No, I
men
understand
does
what
say,
you're saying.
I raise our next man child or whatever it is, but it have good and bad. I like to hear you. You have something you'll say too. He says something might be wrong, a man might be wrong, but always listen to it. Always have some kind of level of positive. This is what you say it. I can't remember you said, but positive. Listen. He doesn't know where he can learn from it. Our next
Of
man
course.
point
Take
at
heed.
you.
Take heed, yeah.
Yeah, take heed.
You had to
take
learn
heed.
how to take
And
heed in
but, man,
life.
that man show other man child how to make up a bed, how to ride a bike,
Yeah.
how to have a structured home, how to protect his mother.
Yeah.
And that man is turn around and say, but I don't care what you say, I calling you daddy,
Yeah.
Boy, my that man cheat. I'm telling you, I don't know what what they ain't think it true, boy.
Yeah.
And I will get some callers. I want to give not all instructors could go and come in this program because remember, it's mostly men of status and service and it will be treason, whatever. I'm
Right.
looking for someone who trained Milat who's not in that position or he retire to
Right.
give you input, boy. I will get
Alright,
input
well, bring
from
him on the line
different-
now. Bring him on the line now, man.
Right? So, Jared, I don't know if you could sing and
Now you can stay on the
and
line,
you
man.
get it. Right, let me see if I can get this man
Yeah,
there
that's it. Bring
as
him
fast
on the
as
line.
possible, yeah.
Right.
Right?
It's a serious thing.
Well,
If I had to be real with all you, I just keep it honest. I believe this is an agenda towards the black youth, brother. I don't care what nobody say. This is an agenda
Against the black youth.
against the underprivileged African youth.
Yeah, because
You see, we could go deeper and
right.
deeper, you know.
Hold
We
on
could
there,
go
hold on
into
there.
politics
Hold on.
and
I'll
all
come on
these
the
things, you
line
know. But you know, you
Right,
think go.
hold on, KG.
Yeah, who you have on the
Yeah,
line
come on
here?
the line here.
Hello, good day.
Hello, good day.
Hello, good day.
Yeah, good day, sir. And who are we speaking to?
We're speaking to Kevin Roberts.
Kevin Roberts.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Kevin Roberts, we just having a conversation about this whole Milat situation. You know, a lot of people heartbroken about it. A lot of people have different perspectives about it.
Yes, all right.
Nigel told me you were, what was your part?
I was an instructor.
An
Instructor.
instructor.
At Milat. Yeah.
Right. So when you heard the
Operating as an
news,
instructor, mentor, etc.
right,
Yeah.
mentorship and that type of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you heard the news for the first time, what were your thoughts?
It was, I was lost. Like, how could any government decide to put an end to a program which is proactive instead of reactive? Instead of we going and locking up the youths and what have you, you're looking to adjust the attitudes, change their method of thinking, and improve on the future outlook.
Right.
But we just closed down a program like that for nothing.
Yeah.
You know? And at the time of closure, there were youths, there was a batch inside preparing for CSEC exams next year, please God.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand what is the purpose, what is the real end game to all of this.
We was talking to Mr. McIntosh earlier. And he was saying that, apparently the government was saying stuff like the program is very expensive to run and whatnot. And then he made an example and he said He said, right now I'm a poor man because I took all my money to invest into my children for the sake of their future.
Correct.
So it seems like the government looking at this program as something expensive versus looking at this
Yeah.
program as something like an investment into the
Yeah.
underprivileged
Yeah.
youth or whatnot. Would you see it that way too?
Yeah, and we have to look at it, as I said before, proactive instead of reactive. How
Right.
costly it is to keep the jails running. How
Correct.
costly it is to incarcerate every one prisoner.
Correct.
One prisoner that you have to feed 3 square meals and in some cases clothe when you're convicted.
Mm-hmm. Great point.
Good question.
Great point. Great
How
point.
costly could that be? So why we don't just close down the jails? Because
Correct.
you're not getting any university graduates from them. So
Because
we
the
could close
jail,
down the jails too.
yeah, because the jail's supposed to be rehabilitation.
And it seems to not be doing its job. So let's close it down. Because
Seems
it don't
it
make
is
any
not.
sense either.
People coming out of
It
jail
don't make any
worse.
sense either. A statement was made by a politician. Yeah, a statement was made by a politician that crime has not gone down since this. How you could know crime ain't go down unless these same youths were outside there perpetuating crime?
Correct.
You don't know. You don't know if crime would have been worse.
Correct.
Since I was at that program, I started at that program 2009. Yeah, June 2009. Yes, right. And I really left when I retired at 2022. Yeah, and within that time, every year had a batch, right?
Mhm.
2000 and from 2009 till, and from each batch, I have known to bury at minimum 3 youths from each batch.
Wow.
And of course, you wouldn't get to reach everybody from a batch intake of 100 or 120 or 90. You wouldn't get to reach everybody. So those that were lost and died. But imagine how many more youths could have died
Definitely.
if we
Agree.
didn't try to reach some.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I myself might have died if I didn't win the program.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is.
When Nigel joined the program, he had a lot of let's just say he was an at-risk youth. He was an at-risk youth.
Right.
You know? And I see him being successful now with so much pride to see so many of the youth successful now as businessmen, as servicemen, etc. It's you feel like, you know, you
Yeah.
save somebody in this world.
Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Instructor, past instructor, tell me, KG want to know when I come in, what was your view to me? How I come in with the janks and the teardrops? Take a time.
Yeah, they say the laser off the man teardrop tattoo. The
No,
change
well,
will
no,
appear
he
and
had some issues. Yeah, Nigel had some issues, anger management issues,
Right.
and of the lot normal problems. Well, his problems are worse than normal, yes. Not his problem, but he had a few personal problems that, you know, it's
Right.
not just you had to mentor him through it and what have you.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
So he's definitely a true
problems, yeah.
testimony to what the Milat program can do.
Yeah, man.
Yes, for sure, Yeah, as it have many others. Yeah, as it have many others. You know, I met guys there that were on the verge of becoming full-fledged criminals, and
Yeah.
they are family men today with their children and wife and what have you. So, I mean,
So my question is, the government don't see these statistics?
I don't know. What I know is that what has happened is that it has moved over the years from being a program considered to change youths to becoming, in their eyes, and it's not just the bureaucrats in the ministry who doing this to it. They're coming up with figures.
What you call
That's
them? What you call
not-
them? What's the word they use?
Bureaucrats in the ministry.
Right.
All right, the people with the doctorates and the masters
Right.
that find that this program not equating to the amount of money they have to spend. And they keep cutting every year. They take out $1 million, they take out $1 million, they take out $1 million until it's running on bare skeleton,
Right.
right? And still the bare skeleton wasn't good enough, so they close it down.
Right.
So they close it down. But you can't put a value, just the same thing with jail. So if you close down the jail, all of us, you can't put a value on what having criminals incarcerated is doing. Just release them and you would see. So like over the next 10 years without a program like Milat, you would
Breed more
see the
criminals.
difference in the country.
Of course. Of course.
That is when you would see the difference. Not because the jail have the criminals in it. That don't mean it can be worse.
Definitely.
I agree.
So you choose not to close down the jail, but you close down a program because there are not enough university graduates. I don't know what Superintendent was talking about, something like
Right.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Fellas, I ain't know what to say now. I ain't know what to say again. But if you had to give a youth advice, especially the youths who just got laid off at the program, youths who was preparing themselves to do C-Sec and all these different things, what would you tell them in a time like this?
The problem with the advice is that we were really catering to many of the youths that were on the lower economic scale. So some of them can't really turn to anywhere else to get the free tutelage that they could have get in Milat. But what I'll tell them is don't be disheartened. Where there's a will, there's a way. You have to find a way to continue striving to go forward despite all the obstacles that's been brought in front of you.
Right.
Whether it be by the government, whether it be by otherwise, you need to find a way to continue your efforts of becoming a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago that contributing to the well-being of the country.
Definitely.
Don't give up. Don't give up just because of this obstacle.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, the most we could do is hold the faith and hope that they do the right thing.
Yes.
Do the right
Thanks
thing.
very much, Mr. Ravi.
But thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. KG. Thank you very much for doing this.
For sure.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all.
All right, Nigel.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, Nigel, Jared, boy, it's a serious thing. You understand?
Yeah.
I know men like all you who really pass through the program and really benefit from the program. I know when all you see something like this, how it could affect all you same way too now. So
Yeah.
I mean, what we go do? What we
We
go do?
have to do something, KG. We can't say what we go do. We have to try at least to see
Look, one last person begging you to get a contribution. And I don't know.
Who it is?
Begging.
Who it is?
Social worker.
All right, well, bring them on the line. I will end off with that.
Okay.
Yeah. But the kind of things I really want to say up here, but I will hold my tongue. I will let the people say what they have to say. Yeah. Find like I say enough.
And you remember we always be talking about them kind of thing, KG, right?
Yeah. Them don't care about the youths, I don't care what nobody say, boy.
Yeah.
Them dinosaur and them do not care about the youths, though. And they have zero strategy to deal with the youths. They're very disconnected. So that's why I ask.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's why I ask if the government don't even see these statistics. Like, are they blind to these statistics? Are they blind to the fact that there are a lot of youths out there who could have turned criminal, but because of this program that all they invest in over the years, or they change a lot of lives, that don't mean nothing to all you, boy. All you need studying money.
Yeah, money. And it don't matter what government
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter.
It's off to them, but
Yeah.
it don't matter.
I'm mad thing, dog. I'm mad thing. Everything closing down right now. Everything for the poor man closing down. Let me be honest.
That's true.
Milat is just one of them. You
Very true.
understand?
CCC and thing, them is good
CCC
programs
gone.
that help real female.
What you mean? That was the plan
Milat help
B.
the male. CCC help plenty females.
That was the plan B. If you didn't know what to do with CCC, it's hype.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's Milat, it's them kind of thing. And them just taking away the plan B.
Milat is the only one I see get a wide variety.
Right.
Trade, academics,
Yeah.
music, sports, and all that in one package that this one individual grasping.
Yeah, but you remember it had a video floating around the place probably last year with a little fat boy who was in Milat. I don't know if you know that video, and he used to be making these videos right through.
KG, I know him. Before the person answer.
Yeah.
The incident we had in the gas station, that's not the last dread murder. Right?
That was on
In
Milat?
the gas station, I don't think remember.
Yeah.
In
Just the
Mobile,
other day.
right?
Yeah.
That was
by
on
the-
Milat, man.
by the
No,
Unipet.
that was on Milat, man. Who get shot at the program?
Who get through? The person who died?
The youngest boy in the car.
Serious.
Yeah.
Correct.
You see?
Mhm.
Without that mentorship, the youth and them can't do nothing.
You can't
I'm
function.
telling you,
because,
boy.
You have to guide them. You have to
You
teach them.
have to,
because
boy.
that is what.
All right, good fellas. We have someone on the line here, social worker. KJ, we could just mute Jared.
Yeah, man. Good day.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with KG.
Hi, KG.
Yeah, we are just having a conversation about the whole Milat issue. We had a lot of callers. We had the principal. We had some social workers. We had youths who passed through the program. And just to hear the different stories and to hear the impact that this program really had on so many different people, it's such a sad situation, you know. So we're just having a conversation about it. I heard that you are a social worker, so you would be very familiar with the success rate of this program and the impact of this program in our society. What are your thoughts when you heard that the program came to a halt?
Okay, so let's just back up a bit and let me correct you.
Okay.
I am a clinical psychologist.
A clinical?
And a clinical psychologist.
Clinical psychologist.
Yeah, and I worked, when I was in the military, I worked at the Milat program from 2009 up until 2016.
Right.
And when I went there, I was tasked with operationalizing the social work department. Right? That's the department that dealt with more or less the psychosocial issues of the cadets.
Right.
And during the years I spent there, I saw the benefits of the program, you know, not just the academic improvement, but the psychosocial improvement of the boys as well.
The psychosocial. Explain that for the people that don't really understand what that means.
So the psychosocial improvement. So what the program dealt with trying to teach the boys survival / paramilitary skills,
right,
academic skills, as well as for the social work department now. That was where we came in to help to develop the psychological aspect of the boys.
Right.
People who would have had trauma, emotional distress, people who would have had run-ins with the Lord, who didn't quite know how to fit in with society. Right? So my department was kind of instrumental in helping the boys to answer the question, who am I?
Answer the question, who am I?
Yeah, who am I as an individual?
Right, yeah.
So we had a lot of success, not just academically, but we were quite successful in changing the mindset. Remember the program targets marginalized youth, right?
Definitely.
Youth. So when they come into the program, coming out with 5, 6
O levels, that was just half of it. The other half would have been now to deal with the trauma, to deal with
Definitely.
the emotional, psychological issues.
Right.
And there were a lot of success.
Correct. And that is
So,
most important when you really think about it.
of course,
Yep.
of course,
Yep.
of course.
Hmm.
So when I heard that the program is about to be shut down, my first thought would be, who would now care for the psyche, the psychological aspect of these boys? Yes, they could go to Whitehead, they could go somewhere, they could do evening classes, but that's just the one part of it. The
Right.
other part of it is, where would the psychosocial support now come from? That was
Definitely.
the first thing.
Hmm. So
And
real.
so I felt like there are other alternatives, KG.
Yeah.
You know, so I understand the financial constraints, right? The government may be facing issues of financing and a myriad of issues. But I'm saying that should be a conversation on, hey, public, how can we move forward?
Correct. Correct.
You see, during election, you know, you remember, KG, during election time, we have these town meetings. You familiar with them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Each party does it. Everybody does it, right?
Yeah.
This is a time, is well, let me ask the question. Isn't this a time where we could have town meetings where government could come, whoever is the representative, could say, hey, public, we do not have the finances.
Right.
What are your thoughts?
How
What are
can
your
we how
thoughts?
can
How
we
could we
help each
move
other?
forward?
Right.
Yes. This is
Because
a
it
time,
takes a
KG,
community.
where,
It takes a
where
community.
it does.
Yeah.
And now, this is the time for us to probably tap into the business sector.
Right.
Could we engage some people who would say, here what happened in government? I would put $5. You
Right.
would put $5 and let's see what we could do.
Correct.
It's time that we have a conversation other than unilaterally deciding, hey, shut it down.
Yeah. Mr. McIntosh literally said that 12 hours time they got. Like 12 hours. It wasn't even a day, two
Wow.
days notice, not even a week. 12 hours. So you just call somebody and say, show up at the CCC building, we're gonna have a meeting. And when he showed up, they broke the news to him. We closing down this. And then the youth and them
Wow.
has CXC coming up and all these things, and they preparing themselves for this, and they just had to get this news. Boom. What next? That is the question. That is what I am asking. What is next?
Well, apparently nothing.
That is it.
And I'm saying that's not good enough because you see, KG, I want you again to keep in mind the target population of the Milat program, right?
Correct.
It is for the people, the boys who would have already experienced challenges, right?
Yep.
So trauma. Some of them, they have parents who are more children than they are.
Yep. Children
Parents
who were
who weren't
deserted.
ready. Yes, they weren't ready for parenting, whether it's financially, emotionally, psychologically. So these boys, they are marginalized. They are already at risk.
Yeah.
So when we say, hey, the bread I was giving you, I'm no longer gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
You know, we're also saying something else to them, right, KG? We're
Yep.
also saying, hey, you're not good enough.
We
We do
don't
not
care.
care.
Yeah, we don't care about you because we have money. Because as again, one of the instructors came and he made a great point. The amount of money you're spending on one prisoner in the prison system, you rather spend money, millions or billions of dollars to lock up black youths, but you wouldn't spend millions of dollars to help a youth stay out of the jail. You wouldn't look at that as an investment. You would look at that as something expensive. We need to invest in our youths. That's just the reality of the matter.
It
We're
is. But
looking
you
for
see,
all kind of
KG,
strategy, but we're running from the real impactful strategy. It just don't make sense to me.
it doesn't. But I'll tell you something. It all comes down to who are the advisors?
Correct.
People are giving the wrong advice.
Definitely.
It's not
Blind
about,
leading the
it's not
blind.
about, it's not about cutting it down, shutting it down. It's about how could we tailor it? How could we do it differently?
Definitely.
Nothing is wrong if we pause for a while. We could pause for a bit, but we must pause to come back better.
Yeah. And come back quick.
Yes. But let me tell you what doesn't help, Katie. Let me tell you what does not help. Now, I have been privy to all of the discussions that's been happening online about the program, right?
Right.
I read comments, I read people's opinions, I read a lot. And let me tell you what I was seeing a lot. Now, mind you, I know everyone was passionate about the program, as am I, right?
Right.
I am saying this is not the time for us to point fingers and call names and spew negativity. This is not the time, KG.
Right.
You know what we need now? We need solutions.
Correct.
Okay, I could come online and say, hey, the government, this, da, 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 da. I could say that, but how is that helping?
How is that helping? Right.
Why don't we now say, hey, here's what? Could we meet? Could we engage? Would you all consider if we had a discussion? How about we do A, B, C, and D?
Right.
I've not seen a lot of that. I have seen, oh, they don't like black boys, and because they're black, and da 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 da. All I've been seeing is not
emotions,
all, but
emotions
90%,
basically.
Negative emotion.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it doesn't help. Now, if I say the government okay, I might be 100% right. But how does that help?
Right. What are we as a people going to do? Because the government is going to continue to disappoint the people. You know? Government come, government go, we are disappointed. But what are we going to do as a people?
What are we? That's my point, KG.
Yeah.
How do we come together constructively to put forward solutions?
I agree.
Yeah, let's put aside emotions. We know it's upsetting, it's angering. I know, we know. But how could we put that aside and have constructive discussions about the way forward?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So I guess that is the next step. And I think that is what Trinidad and Tobago need on a whole. And I think that we need to come off of this, even though, yes, we need governments and we need politicians and all these things, but we need to be a little more independent as a people. And we need to understand that there is strength in numbers. And if we come together, we could do the same thing like Milat. Independently, we could do that.
Yeah, we can. It just takes someone to step out, take the lead, and start a positive discussion.
Definitely.
That is what we are lacking. Positive contribution.
So if
we
you had to...
away red, take away red, take away yellow, take away blue, take away green. Let us just come together as people who care and start a positive dialogue.
Yep, country before party.
Yes.
Agree.
Country before party. So if you had to give a word of advice, whether it is to the youths, whether it is to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, what would you say right now, especially with this whole topic going on right now?
I would say to the youths first and foremost, if they were going to be doing CXC next year, it tells me they've been in the program for some time, right? Because this is a 3-year program.
Right.
Right? They would have already gone through the induction phase and that phase where you try to change the youth from a particular thinking to a particular type of negative thinking to a more positive thinking, right?
Right.
I would say to the youth, all that you have learned in the program before, put it to work now.
Right.
I know the social work department was still functioning up until that time when they decided to close the program.
Mm-hmm.
all that the counselors would have ever said to you, the instructors would have said to you, put it in place, now apply it,
Don't let it
and
go to waste.
keep a positive focus.
Yeah.
I would say to the youth as well, do not be distracted by the negative banter happening around you right now.
Right.
Hold on, something positive has to come out of this. Must.
Definitely. Yeah.
Hang in there. I would say to the youth, hang in there. And to the government, I would say, certainly there is an alternative. If we could just pause for a minute, have a discussion, and chart the way forward. It can work. Trinidad and Tobago, it can work. If the government cannot do it, we could do it.
Yeah. I agree
Let
with you.
us let us start a positive dialogue.
Yeah. Definitely. Well,
Hope
thank you,
I
thank
hope I
you,
could have
very
been of
much.
some help today.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I hope I could have been a little help today
Of
and
course,
add
of
positively
course,
to the
of course. It came at a whole new perspective there too, because as much as the emotions flaring and everybody vexed, everybody heartbroken is only natural. But I think that what you left there was very important. We as a people need to come together and also find solutions for our youth. Same way, we'll
Definitely.
point fingers and blame everybody, blame the police, blame the politician, blame this. But what are you doing when the day comes? What are you giving to
Yeah,
society when the day come? We could come together to
indeed.
party, we could come together to drink rum, we could come together to talk all kind of stupidness. But can we come together to fix things same way too and help?
We could come together for the World Cup.
All kind of thing, yeah. Ah
You see?
boy.
Yeah.
Ah
So
boy.
let us come together and listen to me,
Yep.
KG. Listen. If my services are ever needed, you feel free to call me. I'll be the
Definitely.
first volunteer.
I
Call me.
appreciate that.
Awesome.
I appreciate that. Well, thank you, very much. Hope you have a wonderful day, man.
You are most welcome. Thank you for
All
having me.
right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
How to file sound effects before we lock it off. Where all the thing
Correct.
go. Understand?
Nah.
Big up Nigeria all the time. Big up Jared all the time. Big up all the
Yeah.
youths and them who pass through the system same way too and who trying to be better. You understand? But I appreciate that word there. As much
man,
as, and I mean, just what we doing here and all is a perfect example of what she talking about. We still came together to bring awareness to something now. While everybody out there just looking for excuses, So all I want to leave anything with the people before we wrap up. Nigel, you go first,
Nah.
man.
All right. I just still in New Trinidad and Tobago. We leave with the last statement she made there. They come together is a real big thing for the US. It makes a lot of sense. It's a positive act. And as the tally little cats, this is a show long time with the insect life or whatever it is, where the ants stand up, one ant stand up,
Right.
and the grasshopper had to put it down and put him in the place and say, hey, we had to treat him like that because if one could stand up, all them feel like could stand up one way.
Correct.
Understand?
Correct.
And we had to come together and make a difference on what's right for the future of the country. Understand?
Real is real.
Yeah.
Jared, leave something with the people now, man.
Well, same thing, man. Stay positive. And as you man say, I know the last one of the put what they learn to use for the meanwhile until better could be done,
Yeah.
Holy faith, don't go to the life of the crime. That crime life, nothing making sense to me.
No joke.
So let me stay positive and come together. If we could really come together, that's a great strength there already.
Definitely.
If we don't start today. Plenty start whenever.
Yeah.
Positive motion.
Real talk. So fellas, big up all yourself all the time. And we go do this some other time, same way too.
You don't know, KG,
man.
Right?
Nigel.
Respect all the time.
Yeah, man. Bless it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, all yeah. So It was a wonderful segment. I want to big up everybody who tuned in. Big up Rude Boy, my number one sponsor. Big up everybody who tuned in week after week and support Talks with KG. Right? You're going to have a lot more of these type of conversations. They're just the beginning. We're going to have a lot of callers. We're trying to use this platform to our very best ability. And we really need to come together more. Trinidad and Tobago. Let's leave on that note. Regardless of what, we really need to understand the power that we have as a people when we come together. They close down the programs, they're doing all types of stuff that we are seeing and we're not agreeing with. But at the end of the day, we have each other and we have strength in unity and togetherness. And as I say, youth development is the most important part of the future of any society. So stop turning a blind eye to the youths. Stop ignoring the youth's emotions. Stop ignoring the youth's feelings. Stop ignoring the youth's opinions. Stop ignoring the young generation. Old people are this way about them that they just like to chastise the youths. And I hope that this program and this episode really brings some light into what mentorship and what a little attention could do for the young generation. Let me stop ignoring them. Let me stop turning a blind eye on them. And let me stop watching everything that they do as negative and understand that a lot of youths are crying out for help, looking for help, searching for help, and they do not find anything. And then when they finally get help, whether it be from a program, whether it be from wherever, somebody, somewhere always turns their back on them. It is a pattern. Since I was a youth, that is how we used to feel. I remember going to school and the teacher telling you, you would make it to be nothing. You would never make it in life just because you probably was a little troublemaker, or you probably had ADHD, or you probably couldn't. It had so many different things that we as youths were facing. I remember going to school and coming back home and telling my mother the things that was going on in school, and she never really believed me. She would believe sometimes, but I think that she didn't really understand how bad it really was, how violent it was growing up in the early 2000s and that kind of vibes. Like, the world did change. A lot of things did change. The way that people was living back in the 1960s and the 1980s is extremely different to the world that the youths and them growing up in today. And we need to take heed of that. We need to be understanding of that. We need to be empathetic of that. Empathy is the word of the day. We need to have empathy when it comes to the younger generation. A lot of them want to try. A lot of them want to do better. But without proper mentorship, we can't go no way. So my people, let me do better. All right? And that is it. Boom!
Tayoki, Talks with KG, the realest podcast on the planet. Bad mind boy, cannot stand it. Talks with KG, the realest podcast on the street. Tell them on the platform, take a seat.